At speed, you can't drink and drive, you can't drug and drive. Not saying any of these boys have been doing that, not at all. I'm just putting it out there, you know, because it's the time of year, it's Christmas, it's New Year. Now you've got to be careful the most, you know, especially with people walking about, other people, you know. When you get in the car, you must think of them, be in a sound mind and competent, pay due care and attention to everything you do. Again, condolences to the deceased's family. 2 young men should never have happened. AJ, God had his arms wrapped around you tight, you know, because looking at that crash, you're one lucky guy. And I'm pleased you're alive, son. I'm pleased you're alive.
So here's what went down when Oleksandr Usyk made that hospital visit to see Anthony Joshua after the horrific car wreck. This wasn't some publicity stunt or standard competitor courtesy. This was genuine warrior-to-warrior respect after something that nearly destroyed everything. The crash took the lives of 2 people closest to Joshua, while AJ battled his own serious injuries, and Usyk's move to reach out showed the kind of bond that runs deeper than any championship fight.
This is an unbelievable loss. Sinna Atlati for 2 incredible people who were not only part of AJ's team, but also friends. My sincere condolences to their families, loved ones, and everyone who knew them. Anthony Joshua, wishing you a speedy recovery. Stay strong, champion.
John Fury's reaction when the crash news dropped was completely raw, and you could hear the genuine fear in what he said. This had nothing to do with boxing business or promotional angle. This was someone who's been around the sport long enough, recognizing how close we came to losing a champion, and that mix of relief and worry in his voice showed how badly this rattled everyone who truly gets what these athletes represent.
AJ, you're one lucky lad. God bless you, I'm glad you're alive again. Shocked me, it has. Terrible. Anyway, good luck everybody, and try and enjoy the new year as much as you can and be safe.
Eddie Hearn's response showed how fast everything can flip when reality hits. You're planning future matchups and discussing title shots 1 second, and then suddenly you're facing life or death situations. Hearn's whole team realized immediately that all the typical boxing politics had to take a back seat. This became about people caring for people during something unthinkable.
Be there for them and the family, anything they need. You know, sometimes when someone is a star, they have a lot of things in their life taken care of for them. So you really have to move into that mode in this situation as well. Make sure, obviously, they're getting the best medical attention, make sure their family are safe and happy.
The official reports made it
The full severity of Joshua's wreck became impossible to ignore. 2 people died and AJ ended up in emergency treatment. That's precisely why Usyk's decision to show up personally and offer real support hit so hard with everyone. When past opponents drop all the competitive stuff to focus purely on healing and recovery, that's when you witness authentic respect in action.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Joshua, future heavyweight Hall of Famer, has been in a severe car accident which killed 2 people. He is severely injured. He's still alive. There's footage out there of people helping Anthony Joshua out the vehicle. We don't know the details of what happened, if they was in a car accident, if they was just swerving around and lost control. We don't know, but my condolences go out to those who lost their lives. Hopefully it was just, man, a terrible accident. And also, hopefully Anthony Joshua will seek the medical attention that he needs. You know, check the everything, the head, the scan everything, X-ray, MRI, because we don't know if that could be internal bleeding as well. You know, adrenaline is pumping and you may feel like you're not okay, but you gotta check everything. But hopefully he heals well, and Godspeed. And again, my condolences go out to those that lost their lives.
This heartbreaking update exposed everything Anthony Joshua endured, watching 2 close friends lose their lives while he fought to survive his own injuries. The ripple effect shook the entire boxing world, and seeing Oleksandr Usyk step up with genuine sympathy demonstrated that brotherhood and human decency tower above everything else when real tragedy takes over.
In car accident, 2 people who I believe were with Anthony Joshua were friends of his have tragically passed away. Before I carry on reading the article, the 2 people who have tragically passed, my condolences is all I can say to their friends and families.
Tyson Fury speaking about Joshua's crash showed how seriously the whole community treated this emergency, but Usyk's personal message of support and strength really stood out from the rest. This went way beyond typical rival politeness. This was pure human compassion, proving how the fiercest opponents can unite when actual suffering replaces manufactured conflict. Jake Paul's take on Joshua's accident maintained focus on what actually counts beyond belts and rankings. These situations, particularly watching Usyk's respectful gesture of solidarity, shift the whole narrative from athletic rivalry to human bonds, reminding fans and fighters that when genuine tragedy strikes, our compassion must come first. This coverage missed certain important facts, but the devastating truth of the crash remained constant throughout. Oleksandr Usyk's heartfelt outreach to Joshua helped steer all the discussion toward recovery and respect, slicing through speculation and rumors with authentic care and worry.
There was someone in the stationary truck. I'm not sure about that, so I'm not going to report on that, but the truck was stationary. And Anthony Joshua's SUV struck the state.
Wade's analysis of the crash exposed just how chaotic and devastating the whole situation turned out for Anthony Joshua. Latest information suggests that AJ's car was changing lanes when it hit a stopped truck, causing the deaths of two close friends and team members, landing Joshua in the hospital but in stable condition. The impact from this terrible accident rippled through the boxing world, uniting even former opponents in support. Oleksandr Usyk, who battled Joshua twice for championship gold, openly shared his sympathy and encouragement, proving that real respect goes beyond rivalry when actual tragedy strikes.
According to officials in Nigeria, they ran into a stationary truck while trying to change lanes on the roads. Just a horrific accident. You know, I don't want to start, assigning blame to something that I don't have the report.
Joe Rogan jumped straight into theories about the crash, but beneath that questionable strategy sits a crucial truth. This accident could have turned out much worse. Current footage and information reveal Anthony Joshua getting help from the destroyed car after his vehicle hit a stopped truck in Nigeria, taking two close friends and sending AJ to the hospital with serious injuries. The boxing community responded with shocked silence, and during those moments, even rivals put aside competition. Oleksandr Usyk openly shared sincere sympathy and encouragement, showing that respect and compassion matter more than speculation when life-threatening events shake fighters to their foundation.
That's bonkers. Thank God he didn't have a seatbelt on. I never say that. Thank God he didn't have a fucking seatbelt on, because if he did,
there's no way
he would be dead.
The message about empathy captured exactly what most supporters experienced watching Anthony Joshua emerge from that wreckage. It was clear this wasn't some ordinary accident. The harsh reality of two deaths and a world champion hospitalized left even seasoned professionals stunned. The focus on compassion over drama reflected the widespread reaction perfectly. This was when real concern mattered more than business. That's exactly why Oleksandr Usyk's support felt so powerful. Usyk, who faced Joshua twice at heavyweight boxing's highest level, immediately sent strength and sympathy in a moment that reminded everyone how fragile life can be. Boxing's usual competition transformed into respect, humanity, and shared worry for AJ and those who died.
But he could get seriously hurt. I don't believe Josh would have. I believe Josh might have some compassion in him.
Yeah.
And I think he'll go.
The police statement made everything tragically obvious. Anthony Joshua didn't just survive a bad crash, he lived through something that killed two of his closest friends. The accident occurred on a busy Nigerian highway, the same country where Joshua kept strong family ties. The footage of AJ getting assistance from a destroyed Lexus SUV touched supporters worldwide. During moments like this, the boxing world dropped titles and business talk. Even Oleksandr Usyk, Joshua's toughest opponent in recent fights, shifted away from competition and openly shared strength and sympathy with AJ. Usyk's words weren't generic condolences, they were personal and respectful, showing genuine care for someone he fought twice for the heavyweight crown. This accident instantly changed everything from scheduled fights to loss and recovery, proving that respect and support become everything when tragedy hits.
Local police that there was an accident at 9:30 a.m. local time, 8:30 our time, involving two vehicles in which two people have died, and Anthony Joshua has received minor injuries and he's been taken to hospital. So eyewitnesses say Joshua was in a Lexus SUV with 3 other passengers, and he was involved in an accident in which that Lexus collided with a truck that was stationary at the time. And there are videos online of a shaken Joshua being taken out of the car. So local police have confirmed that Joshua has suffered minor injuries, but that 2 people have died in that accident.
This report really highlighted the crash's intensity involving Anthony Joshua, confirming he survived a devastating accident that claimed 2 lives and needed medical evaluation. During the chaotic scenes afterward, cameras showed him getting assistance from the wreckage, hurt but alive, and everything stopped. What developed was unity that transcended rivalry. Oleksandr Usyk, who beat Joshua twice in epic heavyweight battles, was among those reaching out with heartfelt words. Usyk's statement avoided mentioning wins or upcoming bouts, instead focusing on loss, strength, and human connections. In a sport driven by competition, that action meant something deeply meaningful. Usyk's compassion proved that even the most fierce rivals can show real care when lives are at risk and genuine tragedies unfold.
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Joshua, future heavyweight Hall of Famer, has been in a severe car accident which killed 2 people. He is severely injured. He's still alive. There's footage out there of people helping Anthony Joshua out the vehicle. We don't know the details of what happened, if they was in a car accident, if they was just swerving around and lost control. We don't know, but my condolences go out to those who lost their lives. Hopefully it was just, man, a terrible accident. And also, hopefully Anthony Joshua will seek the medical attention that he needs. You know, check the everything, the head, the scan everything, x-ray, MRI, because we don't know if that could be internal bleeding as well. You know, adrenaline is pumping and you may feel like you're not okay, but you got to check everything. But hopefully he heals well, and Godspeed. And again, my condolences go out to those that lost their lives.
The examination of Anthony Joshua's accident captured the fear many fans felt. Understanding this crash wasn't just serious, but potentially life-altering, especially with concerns about major injuries like brain damage. What became obvious was how quickly the boxing community united. Even Oleksandr Usyk openly shared support and encouragement with Joshua, putting respect above rivalry when survival and healing became infinitely more crucial than belts or disagreements. Chris Eubank Jr.'s reaction to the crash perfectly showed what the whole boxing world was going through. Complete shock, real empathy, and deep concern. This wasn't another gym injury or normal sports problem. This was a catastrophic event that took 2 lives and put a global champion in the hospital. Eubank's thoughtful, honest response showed how connected fighters stay beyond the ring. What makes this situation even more meaningful is seeing one of Joshua's hardest opponents, Oleksandr Usyk, openly share strength and support, proving that respect, humanity, and brotherhood matter more than competition. When real tragedy happens, fans look to voices like Eubank for reassurance, knowing that recovery will take a long road both physically and mentally as AJ works to come back. Logan Paul's perspective on Anthony Joshua's accident showed another side of how people responded. Not everyone had perfect words, but most understood the gravity. When news like this breaks, reactions vary from sincere worry to awkward commentary. What stood out most clearly was how many voices, whether fighters or fans, realized this went far beyond boxing completely. Even Joshua's past opponent, Oleksandr Usyk, shared real sympathy and strength. That contrast between clumsy social media posts and genuine peer support showed just how important this moment became, putting humanity back at the center instead of promotion or conflict. Now that the first wave of shock from Anthony Joshua's car accident starts to settle, the boxing world has discovered that even the most heated rivalries take second place to survival and compassion. From eyewitness accounts to comments from Chris Eubank Jr., experts and different public personalities, responses have varied from shock to empathy to real worry. But what really stood out was Oleksandr Usyk's sincere support to AJ, showing that respect and humanity reach far beyond rivalry. Joshua's journey to recovery, both physically and mentally, will require everything he possesses, and fans, fighters, and press keep watching his progress carefully. This awful incident also reminds us to cherish the people around us, to think deeply, and to unite when tragedy strikes. If you've been following this unfolding story, stay updated, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for the newest updates on Anthony Joshua, Usyk, and everything happening in boxing.